The dust of the Texas plains clung to Sarah's skin, a constant reminder of the relentless work. Each bushel of corn she hauled from the fields was a fresh agony, her muscles screaming in protest. But she couldn't stop. Not with the tiny, fluttering life inside her, depending on every meager coin she earned. She was 6 months pregnant, alone, and toiling on a struggling farm that offered little more than sweat and despair. Her dreams of a small, thriving homestead and a family felt as distant as the cool evening breeze. Just when she thought she couldn't lift another heavy sack, a shadow fell over her. Sarah squinted, her eyes watering from the glare, to see a man on horseback. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with a weathered face that spoke of long days under the sun, and eyes the color of a storm-swept sky. His hat was pulled low, but she could see the glint of something unreadable in his gaze as he watched her. "Ma'am, you shouldn't be out here in this heat." His voice was a low rumble, surprisingly gentle. Sarah, too exhausted to be defensive, just managed a weak, "I have to." The man dismounted, his movements fluid and easy. He was impeccably dressed, not in the dusty work clothes of the other farmhands, but in fine leather and crisp denim. He introduced himself as Rhett Thorne, and the name, even to her tired mind, resonated with a hint of something important. He owned the vast ranch that bordered this small, struggling farm. He watched her for a moment longer, his gaze softening as it fell to her rounded belly. "There's a better way," he said, his voice quiet but firm. "Come work for me. You can help in the ranch house, out of the sun." Sarah stared, suspicion warring with a desperate hope. "Why?" A small, almost imperceptible smile touched his lips. "Let's just say I have a soft spot for tenacity, and for those who need a hand. Besides, I need someone reliable." Hesitantly, Sarah accepted, and what followed felt like a dream. She moved into a comfortable room in Rhett's sprawling ranch house, where the days were spent in the cool shade, helping the cook, mending linens, and performing tasks far less grueling than her previous life. Rhett, a man of few words, was always respectful, always kind. He often found excuses to be in the same room, his presence a comforting warmth. As her pregnancy advanced, Rhett's concern deepened. He brought her special tonics, made sure she rested, and spoke to her belly as if the child could already hear him. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery hues, he found her sitting on the porch, gazing at the distant mountains. "Sarah," he began, his voice a little rougher than usual. "I know this is sudden, and you might think me mad, but I want to marry you." Sarah gasped, her heart leaping. "Mr. Thorne, I'm just a farm girl, and I'm carrying another man's child." He knelt before her, taking her hand. His touch was warm and steady. "I don't care about your past, Sarah. I care about your present and our future. I see your strength, your spirit, and I see the beautiful mother you'll be. This child, if you'll have me, will be mine too. I have a fortune. Yes, but what I truly want is a family, and I believe, with all my heart, that we can build one together." Tears streamed down Sarah's face, not of sorrow, but of overwhelming relief and a budding, fragile joy. She looked into his honest, deep-set eyes and saw not pity, but genuine affection. "Yes," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. "Yes, Rhett." And so, under the vast, endless sky of the American West, the pregnant farm girl became the wife of the wealthy cowboy. Their wedding was a quiet affair, attended only by a few close ranch hands, but it was filled with more love and hope than any grand celebration. Sarah found not just a husband, but a true partner, a protector, and the promise of a life she'd only dared to dream of, all thanks to a compassionate cowboy with a fortune and a heart even bigger. Life on the Thorn Ranch blossomed for Sarah, though not without its challenges. The oppressive heat of the fields was a distant memory, replaced by the gentle hum of the ranch house and the rhythmic creak of the porch swing. But ranch life, even for the lady of the house, was demanding. Sarah learned to navigate the bustling household, managing the staff, overseeing supplies, and ensuring the smooth operation of the sprawling estate. She discovered a hidden strength within herself, a quiet determination that mirrored Rhett's own. Rhett, true to his word, was a man of quiet strength and unwavering devotion. He treated her with a respect and tenderness she'd never known, his storm sky eyes always holding a depth of affection that warmed her from the inside out. He taught her about the ranch, the cattle, the land, sharing his knowledge and his passion. Sarah, in turn, learned to read him, to understand the subtle shifts in his expression, the unspoken needs behind his gruff exterior. Their love grew not in grand gestures, but in the everyday moments, a shared glance across a crowded room, a hand brushing against another, the comfortable silence of two souls finding solace in each other's presence. The ranch hands, initially curious about their new mistress, quickly came to admire her quiet grace and her steady hand in managing the household. Sarah, in turn, found a sense of belonging she'd always craved. She learned the rhythms of ranch life. From the early morning bustle of breakfast preparations to the peaceful evenings spent watching the stars pepper the vast Texas sky. Rhett would often join her on the porch, his presence a comforting warmth, their conversations often minimal but filled with an unspoken understanding. They'd talk about the ranch, the weather, their hopes for the future, slowly weaving a tapestry of shared dreams. As the due date drew closer, Rhett's gentle attentiveness only deepened. He'd insist she rest, bring her cool water, and often when he thought she wasn't looking, his gaze would linger on her, a mixture of awe and profound love in his storm sky eyes. He even built a cradle himself, his large hands surprisingly deft as he smoothed the wood, his brow furrowed in concentration. The arrival of their baby, a healthy boy with Rhett's dark hair and Sarah's determined chin, was a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. Holding their son, nestled safely in the arms of the man who had given them everything, Sarah knew she had found more than just a home. She had found her entire world. The barren farm fields were a ghost of the past, replaced by the boundless future stretching before them, rich with the promise of family, love, and the enduring spirit of the West. They named him Caleb, a reminder of the unexpected kindness that had changed their lives forever.